Raging for the truth, exposing corruption, dismantling the false left-right paradigm. He's Alex Jones.
All right, folks, we are back. It is the Alex Jones Show. I'm sitting in. I am Jason Bermas, a filmmaker. You can get my films, Fabled Enemies, Loose Change, Final Cut, over at Infowars.com, as well as Alex's films, such as Endgame, American Dictators, which I think is a very important and underseen film. 9/11 Chronicles, Truth Rising, a great film, Martial Law, really the list goes on, and he carries a lot of other great books and videos that are not his own. So please go to Infowars.com and support us. And remember, folks, I mean, we give away a lot here. You know, you can listen to the show every day for free. We give away the free podcasts. All the films are on Google Video. I mean, we're trying to reach out to as many people as possible, and that's why this show isn't about the left or right. It's about right and wrong. And that's why we're going after Obama the same way that we went after the Bush administration. Because people like Zygmunt Brzezinski, who were on his campaign team, are the same people that created Al-Qaeda and brag about it in books like The Grand Chessboard. You know, this is a Trilateral Commission guy that's been around forever, an advisor to Carter. You know, I mean, he's been a National Security Council. Talk about an insider among insiders. I mean, I think, you know, the best analogy I've ever seen is that this guy is like something out of a Bond film. He's like, yes, well, you know, I do not know if this will enhance the conspiracy or not, but obviously there are always over-the-table and under-the-table dealings. But the Bilderberg Group and the Trilateral Commission are over the table, so obviously nothing is going on. Really? Most people don't know about the Bilderberg Group, Mr. Brzezinski, because it's not reported on by your precious Washington Times and your New York Times and your, you know, Chicago Tribune. Why is that? Or when it is reported, it's reported as a conspiracy theory and the kooks have something else to cling on to. Well, we need to get past that childlike mentality and expose it for what it really is, an arm of the super elite making decisions without us and having their little puppets come and meet with them so they can instruct them how the rest of it will go, just like when Obama and Hillary met them this year. Look into it, guys. I mean, it's blatantly obvious to anybody with half a brain. All right, let's continue with the calls. Let's go to Jason. Jason, are you with us? Oh, I'm sorry. We'll go to Anthony. Anthony, are you with us?
Hello, Jason?
Yes, sir.
This is Anthony in Atlanta. I just wanted to, first of all, thank you for all the documentaries you put out, the Loose Change Final Cut, and the other ones you were involved with, 9/11 Chronicles. You know, excellent. And also big ups to Alex Jones. It's been an excellent documentary. He's an asset to this country, obviously. Just was wondering about the Cynthia McKinney incident. As you know, Cynthia McKinney is in the news recently. She's been hit by a boat from Israel.
Well, why don't you tell people about that? Because a lot of people don't understand that McKinney was on a diplomatic mission to really just help and aid the Palestinians. And what happened? Right.
And she gets attacked, just like anybody that's really trying to make a positive change. They get attacked by, of course, the establishment that doesn't want a positive change. They want their change to take place. But I was just wondering, you know, during Cynthia McKinney's presidential election, I was just wondering, you know, Alex Jones' point of view on that, because I really didn't hear a lot about.
Sure. You know, Jones probably. I don't know who he voted for. I don't want to get into it, but you know, there was a few candidates out there that kind of support the Patriot movement. Unfortunately for him, Cynthia McKinney is too much of a gun grabber in his opinion. I feel like she does have that blind spot, but overall, I was willing to give her my vote instead of, say, maybe a Chuck Baldwin, who is a little bit more towards the religious right. That maybe Jones voted for him. I don't know. Bob Barr, who again is a little more towards the religious right, possibly voted for him. I'm not quite sure. You know, he likes Cynthia McKinney on a lot of the issues. I really wish that Ron Paul had run as an independent. I think a Ron Paul McKinney ticket would have been perfect. I mean, Ron Paul went in front of the House this week and explained to Congress how Israel funded and created Hamas. I mean, it doesn't get much more truth-telling than that, you know. And, you know, we didn't really tell you, but the way that McKinney was attacked on this mission is she was rammed with an Israeli boat. And, you know, whether they tried to sink her, they definitely tried to thwart her mission. So I'm a big fan of McKinney. I hope that she continues on. I hope that she maybe takes a seat in Congress or a state Senate spot somewhere down the line. But I don't think that Jones was willing to give her his vote. But he's a huge supporter of her ideas.
Yeah, the Senator McKinney-Ron Paul vote would be a blessing. I think that would have a bigger movement than Obama any day, hands down.
I think it would have been a lot harder to suppress the way that they suppressed the Ron Paul movement. I mean, when you saw those primaries, and I thank you for the call, you saw literally, dozens and then hundreds and then thousands of Ron Paul supporters showing up. I mean, Ron Paul was able to hold his own convention, as the Republicans held theirs. I mean, what does that say? Or was that, I think it might have actually been during the Democratic National Convention. But he held his own convention. He had thousands of people show up. He had speakers like Jesse Ventura. He's still on the House floor defending the Constitution and Bill of Rights and telling the truth. Again, you didn't see Ron Paul on CNN being covered, talking about how Israel funded and created Hamas to be the enemy. Okay, you only saw it on C-SPAN Live once, and maybe if you're savvy with a computer, you can pull it up on YouTube, and we may do that in the next hour. All right, let's jump to Tony. He's got something to say about Barack. Tony, what's up?
Hey, thank you, and Alex, for all you do. If people are pinning their hopes on the Supreme Court taking a look at this citizenship thing, I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to blow it off and ignore us like they do on everything else these days.
And what you're referring to, because a lot of people don't know, whether or not Barack Obama is actually a U.S. natural-born citizen, because the controversy is still there whether or not the man was born in Kenya. His grandmother wrote in her book that he indeed was born in Kenya, and they have been unable to produce his quote-unquote Hawaii birth certificate. Continue.
Well, that's true. And I mean, why would he seal all his records? Because he was going, how did he pay for his college? He was going to school as a foreign student and getting a free ride off of the taxpayer. But I think things are going to really turn south in this country. I think we might have one shot at patriots.
Well, what do you think this crisis that now Biden and Colin Powell have discussed is going to be on the 21st to the 22nd? I think that he may just announce the economy's done, that it has to be completely restructured, and maybe it's the death of the dollar. I mean, I hope that's not it, but, it could very well be it.
Madeleine Albright, Colin Powell, and the ever-informed Joe Biden. Thank goodness for him. But I'm going to get off here and hang up and listen to you. And God bless you and Alex for what you do.
All right. Thank you so much for the call, Tony. All right. And speaking of the economy, that's what David wants to talk about next. Let's go to David. What's on your mind?
Hello, is David?
Yes.
Hey, Jason. Let me take off speakerphone for a second.
Sure.
Okay. Last week, actually I think it's Friday, Alex had on Russell Means from the Lakota tribe.
Yes.
And I was so happy to hear that this guy was being interviewed. I was expecting him to mention about the something about the Lakota enterprise that they've got going with the Free Lakota Bank. The Free Lakota Bank is, in essence, an offshore bank now that the Lakota tribe has declared themselves completely autonomous and
a sovereign state, basically.
Absolutely, yeah. They are the same. It would be the same as having a Swiss account if you open an account at Lakota. Only thing is, the Lakota Indians dealing only in silver. So if you do, and I love this idea, I want your take on it, and see what you think about it. Mm-hmm. If you deposit any amount of cash into their account, I think for the meantime, currently they'll accept actual fiat paper. But sometime this next year they're going to stop, and they're only going to accept silver purchases. So the idea is you buy so many ounces of silver, have them hold it for you. You can invest it in the Lakota tribe itself, and they guarantee an incredible interest rate for an annual rate of 7.24% paid to you in silver. So I'd like to get your take on that. I think it's
awesome. Are you kidding me?
Helping out the Native Americans in any way whatsoever, including their gambling casinos, is a great idea. I think they've been downtrodden and used and abused long enough. This I would promote to anyone. I would happily suggest this to anyone who's interested in really saving their money. Mm-hmm. It's not an investment. People think, investing in silver is a dead cause. It's not so much investing in, making profit. It's investing in keeping your value,
exactly,
and keeping it safe. Now, these coins that they have minted are minted by an organization which I just found out about called the AOCS. It's the American Open Currency Standard. And anyone listening, if you want to go to the AOCS website, I think you just type in AOCS and you get it on any search engine, they have minted Restore the Republic coins with Aaron Russo and Ron Paul.
That's right.
Those are silver.
Well, I would caution people, though, because they did go after the Liberty Dollar people at one point. They did seize a lot of their assets. Yeah, that was about a year and a half ago. They went in and just took whatever they wanted. Listen, I encourage people to go and buy silver. I think it's down around $11 or $12 right now, but you still can't get a Liberty Dollar for under $20 on eBay. Why is that? Because it's a hard currency. Hard currency is going to keep a value in any economy. It's the Alex Jones Show. We'll be back after this.